In the heart of a thriving engineering firm, two men forged a professional bond. Sam, the seasoned chief engineer, a man whose wisdom was as profound as his understanding of complex systems, and Tom, his dedicated assistant engineer, eager to absorb every ounce of knowledge from his experienced mentor. For years, their dynamic was the bedrock of the department. Sam, with the calm authority of a veteran, would patiently guide Tom through intricate designs and troubleshoot perplexing malfunctions. "Patience, Tom," Sam would often say, his voice a low rumble amidst the hum of machinery. "Management has its own rhythm. Our job is to make the engines run smoothly, not to shout over the noise. Speak less, deliver more. That's the language they truly understand." Tom, young and ambitious, diligently followed Sam's advice. He meticulously executed his tasks, absorbed Sam's insights like a sponge, and learned the delicate art of navigating the corporate currents. He poured his heart and soul into his work, ensuring every cog turned in perfect harmony. Years spun by, marked by successful projects and the steady growth of the company, largely fueled by the quiet efficiency of their engineering department. Then came the day when Sam, his hair now silvered at the temples, announced his retirement. It felt like a cornerstone of the department was being removed. Tom naturally harbored a quiet hope. He had been Sam's right-hand man for so long, intimately familiar with every aspect of the chief engineer's responsibilities. He envisioned a seamless transition, himself stepping into the leadership role he had been groomed for. But the promotion never came. Weeks turned into months, and the chief engineer's chair remained vacant. Tom continued in his role as assistant engineer, the weight of unspoken disappointment settling in his chest. He carried on his duties with the same dedication, but a subtle unease began to gnaw at him. Was his years of loyal service, his deep understanding of the company's intricate systems, going unnoticed? One crisp autumn afternoon, Tom found himself driving to Sam's cozy suburban home. The familiar scent of pipe tobacco wafted through the air as Sam greeted him warmly at the door. Over cups of steaming tea, Tom finally voiced his frustration. "Sam," he began, his voice tinged with a weariness he couldn't quite mask. "It's been months since you retired. The chief engineer position is still open. I haven't even been considered. After all these years, it feels like the company hasn't recognized anything I've done." Sam listened intently. His eyes, though now carrying the gentle wisdom of retirement, still held a spark of his old sharp intellect. He stroked his chin thoughtfully for a long moment before speaking. "Tom," Sam said, his voice calm and measured, "I understand your frustration, but sometimes the most profound lessons are learned not through direct action but through absence. Here's what I want you to do. Take a 1-week leave just like that. Apply tomorrow. Don't explain, don't justify. Just take the time off." Tom looked at his former boss, a question mark etched on his face. "A week's leave, that's it?" Sam nodded firmly. "That's it. Go. Rest. Disconnect. And when you return, tell me what the feedback is. Nothing more, nothing less." Intrigued and trusting Sam's seasoned judgment, Tom followed his advice. The next morning, he submitted his request for a 1-week leave. The HR department, slightly surprised by his sudden request, granted it without much fuss. The week away felt both strange and liberating. Tom found himself observing the world at a different pace, the constant hum of the office replaced by the quiet rhythm of his own thoughts. He didn't contact the office, didn't check emails. He simply allowed himself to be absent. Finally, the week drew to a close and Tom returned to work, a mix of apprehension and curiosity swirling within him. As he settled back into his routine, his supervisor informed him that the HR manager wished to see him. Mr. Henderson, the HR manager, greeted Tom with a warm smile. "Welcome back, Tom. I trust you had a refreshing holiday?" "Yes, thank you, Mr. Henderson," Tom replied, a little surprised by the personal tone. The conversation meandered through general work talk, Mr. Henderson inquiring about his projects and his years of service to the company. Tom, initially feeling a flicker of panic, answered calmly and truthfully. He had nothing to hide. Then Mr. Henderson slid a crisp envelope across the desk. "Tom," he said, his smile widening, "your dedication and hard work haven't gone unnoticed. We value your contribution to this company immensely." Tom's heart pounded in his chest. He cautiously opened the envelope and unfolded the letter within. His eyes scanned the words, and a wave of disbelief washed over him. It was a promotion letter. He was being appointed chief engineer, accompanied by a significant 20% salary increment. Tom was stunned. It dawned on him then. During his week-long absence, the company had felt his absence. They had realized the extent of his responsibilities, the smooth functioning he quietly ensured. His absence had spoken volumes, louder than any words he could have uttered. A newfound understanding bloomed within Tom. He had inadvertently stumbled upon a peculiar truth. Sometimes your value is truly recognized when your absence creates a void. Inspired by this revelation, Tom began to strategically take short leaves from time to time. Each return seemed to be met with renewed appreciation, often manifesting in small but noticeable improvements in his benefits, a slightly larger bonus, or more flexibility in his work schedule. It felt like a subtle game, a silent negotiation conducted through absence. Months passed in this manner. Tom, now the chief engineer, was performing his duties admirably, but the occasional strategic leave had become a recurring pattern. Then came another summons from the HR manager. This time, however, the atmosphere in Mr. Henderson's office felt different. The smile wasn't quite as warm, the tone less jovial. Mr. Henderson handed Tom another letter. With a familiar sense of anticipation, Tom opened it. But the words on this page struck him like a physical blow. It was a termination letter. Panic surged through him. He didn't understand. He had been a valuable asset, hadn't he? His leaves were short, and his work always remained top-notch. He immediately knew he had to seek Sam's counsel once more. He practically ran to Sam's house, his mind reeling. He recounted the events, the initial promotion, the subsequent leaves, and the devastating termination letter. Sam listened patiently, his expression unreadable. When Tom finally finished, his voice trembling with confusion and a sense of betrayal, Sam sighed softly. "Tom," Sam began, his gaze steady, "I asked you to give me the feedback after your first week's leave, but you never did you?" Tom frowned, trying to recall. "Feedback? What feedback was I supposed to give?" Sam leaned forward, his eyes holding a hint of sadness. "Think of it like this, Tom. We don't have much concern about the television as long as it works, do we? It hums in the background, providing entertainment. We only really notice it when it goes silent all of a sudden. Why did the TV go silent, we wonder? We'll miss our favorite programs, get it repaired. And if it breaks again, we repair it again. But what would you do, Tom, if the TV broke down every single month?" Tom thought for a moment. I'd probably buy a new TV." Sam nodded slowly. "Aha, that's the same thing the company has done with you, Tom." Tom finally understood. His initial absence had highlighted his value, like a temporarily silenced engine revealing its crucial role in the machine. But his subsequent repeated absences had become predictable, a recurring disruption. The company, like someone tired of constantly repairing a faulty appliance, had simply decided to replace the source of the intermittent silence. The lesson wasn't about the power of absence, but the importance of consistent, unwavering presence and contribution. The engine, to be truly valued, must run smoothly, reliably, and without the need for constant, disruptive reminders of its worth. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you or gave you something to think about, I'd be honored if you'd consider subscribing to the channel. Your support helps me share more real moments, reflections, and lessons from life. And if you'd like to join me on this journey, don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, take care and keep growing.